Hi, you winners, and welcome to a game called Redacted Life. Now, it's been out for quite a while, but I just found it, and it is pretty highly rated. On top of that, it is free, so I will put a link in the description if you guys want to play it yourselves. But yeah, a lot of people are saying they weren't going to ruin it, but there's a twist to this, so I'm really curious. But from what the developer says is that he realizes he's in a horror game, a badly written horror game. So I'm kind of excited to see where this takes us. So, Redacted Life, let's start. Also has a shit ton of controls, so we'll see if I forget them. I first realized that I was a character in a video game about 3 weeks ago. At first, I noticed things, little things, glitches, things blinking in and out of existence. Then I tried to remember things like how I met my girlfriend, Rebecca, where I was born, or either of my parents' names. I couldn't remember. I could only remember as far back as a month ago. It was a hard 3 weeks. The worst part was that when I tried to explain all this to Rebecca, it was like she wouldn't listen to me, like she couldn't hear me. I guess the game's programming could only stretch so far. Eventually, I had decided to just let things happen and see how things would unfold. I mean, after all, despite how existential crisis-inducing finding your life's game was, my life was pretty good life. Might as well enjoy it, right? Then, Rebecca decided we should move out. Finding an affordable home to rent, it was too large a place to own all by ourselves. We packed our things from our city apartment and drove to the countryside. The worst place! We're here! We stepped out of the car. It's like a mansion! Whoa, hey girl. There it is, Adrian. The house is over there, at the end of the road. I looked at the mansion in the distance. Come on, Shishka? Shiska? I think it's Shiska. I opened the back door of the car and let Shiska out. Oh, it's a Shiba Inu! Shiska was our dog, by the way. However, as soon as she got out of the car, Shiska started growling. Well, that's a bad sign. Rebecca turned to Shiska. Oh, what's the matter, girl? She's scared of the house. I'm just gonna say dots. Dots. I held my tongue, but still. That can't be good. What could spook her like this? I figure if I say it's the house, Rebecca's gonna get mad at us. Never mind, let's go inside. Listen to the dog. That's an interesting painting. I looked around. I could see from here that there was a study room that led to a massive grand ballroom. It was the kind of grand ballroom that I could imagine us also doubling as a final boss arena. Very unusual furniture. On top of that, I will say, did you not look at the house before you got it? Just saying. Clearly not. I stared at a weird painting of what I interpreted as two horses. The frame it was in looked like it had 4 sets of claws trying to rip the artwork open. Interesting. Very unusual. I prefer to call it rustic charm. I love how old-timey this place looks. What? Scared? No. Well, I don't think something's gonna jump out and shout a boogie woogie boo, but I still feel a huge amount of unease. She's glitching, guys. Don't worry, I'll protect you from anything in this household, but not in any others. Dots. Rebecca started glitching out again. It happened from time to time. It was the first thing that made me realize I was in a game. It used to freak me out, but now the novelty's worn off. Or the shock's worn off, whatever you want to call it. It seems like me acting out of character causes this. It's like Rebecca can't figure out how to react to me. Dots. Adrian? Earth to Adrian. I snapped out of it. Yeah, Rebecca? I said I'll protect you. Sure. Now, I know what you may be thinking. If we were moving into this house, why were we acting like we'd never set foot in the house before? Thank you for pointing that out. Apparently, this is a world where you pay an estate agent a lot of money and just hope for the best. You just cross your fingers and wish really hard. And they magically find a beautiful house you can afford to lodge in. We're leaving this crazy house. A young couple came lumbering down the stairs. They were each carrying a suitcase. I've had it. I can stand for a lot of things, but not this. And with that, the couple left. Another voice. My. Aw, you're a cutie and kind of creepy. A person, whose gender was unclear to me, approached us. They were wrapped up in several layers of winter clothing. Despite the fact that it wasn't winter. Turl? I like your name. It seems another family has left us, with another to replace them. It's like the revolving door around here. Hello, my name's Turl. How are you? Their voice was also ambiguous, and not just in terms of gender. The voice sounded young, ancient, childish, yet wise, all at the same time. Well, I already gave it a voice, so... I'm Rebecca, and this is Adrian. Why were those people leaving? They're scared of us, of the spirit who dwelt... God, can I read? Who dwells in this household. It's a terrible story, one fraught with tragedy. Would you like to hear it? I told him that no, we wouldn't, and Turl began. A sweater-layered character told Rebecca and me pretty full and complete information about the mansion. They told us about how the structure was originally commissioned in the 1800s, and how the original owners of the mansion, Miro and Carla, were a couple who'd recently married before moving into their new home. Miro met Clara when she became his assistant for his magic act. This eventually led to them falling in love with each other, of course. Miro, the magician, as he was called, was an illusionist, but not a very good one. Anyway, if anyone got that reference, thank you. He was also rumored to have dabbled in two dubious things: adultery and the dark arts. Though neither were ever proven publicly, he was apparently successful enough of a magician, to afford the mansion, and continued performing with Clara for many years until... Because there's always an until in these stories. Until... For some reason, my mind kept wandering, but I did my best to stay focused to Turl's cliched story. That really was an awful picture frame. So what happened to the magician and his wife? They disappeared. I sighed. No one seemed to notice. Really? The magician disappeared? How ironic. Very cute. They completely vanished. Were they ever found, or Snark vanished? That sounds like a great magic act. Let's be Snark. That must have gone down well with the audience. It wasn't a magic trick. They had vanished from their household without taking anything with them. She took me seriously. I could see that my sarcasm was once again wasted in this world. No, they became missing for several days. Eventually, Miro was found dead in the basement of this very mansion. His body was covered with long, deep slash marks, like he'd been scratched to pieces by some sort of long-fingered animal. But his wife was never found. I think Clara knew that her husband had been cheating on her. Maybe when she found out, she confronted him with it. Maybe Miro kept a book filled with black magic and that had something to do with it. But I think something very dark happened on the night they disappeared. And I believe that Clara's ghost still haunts this place to this day. It would explain all the strange things happening in this place. Eerie noises, furniture rearranging itself after you leave the room. Then Turl suddenly stopped their history lecture. Do you believe in ghosts? I never really thought of it seriously before, but no, I don't believe in ghosts, sorry. It's fine, no need to apologize to me. And what about you, Beau? Your beau? What about your beau? What about your bae? What about your beau? What does he think? I don't know. Why are you telling us this, or how do you know all this? Why are you telling us this? Look at him smile, the little shit. Why are you telling us all this? Won't that make us more likely to be the next couple to move out? Was this person trying to convince us to leave? I just thought it was interesting and important for you to know the story, his household's backstory. It fascinates me. It's actually the reason why I moved here in the first place. But why are you staying here if you believe there's a ghost? I've made this an occupation of mine. In the past, I've proven to have a knack for solving ghost problems and helping them find peace. You're a ghost hunter? No, not a hunter, my dear. I'd prefer to think of myself as a ghost whisperer. Tots. Are there really enough ghosts in the world for you to do that? Well, you'd be surprised. But I also provide other services to people, living people, like Wiccan charms and divinations. I'll give your girlfriend a tarot reading if you like, free of charge. I want a tarot reading! Give it to me. Oh, that sounds interesting. I've never had a tarot card reading before. Oh boy. Love his sarcasm. After clearing a space on one of the tables, Turo got Rebecca to shuffle the tarot deck. I looked at a bouquet of freshly cut flowers nearby. They were white lilies, because of course they would have been white lilies. The funeral flower, the symbol for death. Of course, the game designer couldn't resist that. Taking the cards from her, Turo took the top 5 cards off the deck, placing them face down in a formation on the table. This tarot card reading will be an interpretation of your future. They, meaning Turl, not Rebecca and Turl, slowly flipped over each card, revealing their illustrations. Ooh, ooh. They're not going to say they sense danger or anything cliche like that, are they? What's wrong, Turl? This looks bad. Sigh. Tell me, I want to know. Well, it's all up to interpretation, but... Tell me the cards, I'll interpret it. Okay, the Fool. Turl pointed to the center card. This card represents the Fool. Well, it is the Fool. That's you. Sure. I try not to smirk at their bad phrasing. Nope, absolutely no room for interpretation there. Well, the interpretation is what you mean in this situation. So, technically the Fool is someone embarking on a new journey that they don't know what holds for them. It's gonna be a surprise. They're blindly stepping forward into their new adventure. Just for you guys to know, that is what the Fool actually is supposed to mean. Luckily, Rebecca didn't seem to notice. The card in the center represents the person this is going to happen to, and the Fool is usually a person who is both curious and lucky. Not incorrect either. Rebecca put her arm on mine and squeezed it. Well, I'm certainly lucky to have Adrian. God. Yeah, and I you. No matter what I say about Rebecca, I really do care about her. But that's what makes this feeling in the back of my mind worse. Got strength, okay. The card below represents a person who will be involved. This represents determination and endurance. And bluntly, strength. That's accurate. So a determined person? Exactly. Someone who will keep going, even in the face of adversity. Of course, that's supposed to be us. This is such a beautiful card. Thank you. It's a custom tarot deck I made especially for me. In my opinion, any tarot reader worth their weight in salt should get a custom tarot deck. Honestly, I do really like that artwork, and I would totally like it. Now let's see. The Empress. The card at the top represents another person involved. Specifically a woman, since this is the Empress card. Yes. Would that be me? Am I the woman? No, he said you're the Fool. Since this is a tarot reading of you, I'd actually interpret that woman as Clara. Of course you would. I don't know if I would, but okay. The Magician's wife? I'm sure her ghost is here, and as long as you're in this house, you and her will be connected. Of course. The Tower. Something that you feel like is stable crumbles around you. So something that you thought was going to always support you, always be there for you, isn't there anymore, and you're just kind of like that's basically what the tower means. It's usually not good. Just, yeah. The leftmost card represents a past event. The tower is associated with sudden, disruptive, and potentially destructive change. I really like that this person has been accurate on the tarot card readings, because I've seen a lot of inaccurate ones, like in other games or anything like that, or trying to use it to their potential of making the story. This is actually what the cards mean. It can also mean liberation and the gaining of freedom. That is true too. But in the terms of destructive change happening in the past, I'd divine it as Clara's past. Of course you would. Death. Actually, death is it's not a bad card. It's a really, not necessarily good card, but it's a rejuvenation. It's the circle. It's something coming to a close so something new can begin. Deaths. Well, that can't be good. Oh, death is an often misunderstood symbol. It doesn't necessarily represent a literal death. It can mean the death of an old way of life and the beginning of a new one. In other words, it could be a change as simple as adopting a dog or moving to a spooky mansion. Right. That is fact. So to sum it all up, I believe that there's going to be strange changes coming soon into your life. Something to do with this mansion's dark past. You'd best be careful. I mean, I know you've said that you don't believe in ghosts. You may think that this is a load of hogwash. No, that was really interesting, thank you. You're welcome. Interesting? Well, I'd better get going. That's all I have left to say. I'll see you later. And with that, Turl left. Rebecca turned to me. So what now? Well, we still have a lot of unpacking to do, but I kind of want to do a bit of exploring first. Why don't we leave the rest of the luggage till later? It's only 2 suitcases. Look, I can do it myself. You can explore the house and I'll catch up with you later. Don't let the bitch go alone in the creepy ass house. Anyway, okay. Well, it's official. I'm trapped in a horror game. A badly written horror game. Never mind. I'll just go get the luggage, shall I? So he didn't want to say that? Is this an adventure game? Because that sounded like a lousy first quest. Oh my god, beautiful. I pulled out the 2 improbably sized suitcases. I call them that because this is all we packed. There was no moving van. There's traveling light, and then there's this. Our whole previous life was the context of these 2 suitcases. With a heave, I moved them in. I lifted them up to carry them back to the mansion. Dude, you don't got any. Ooh. Spooky shadow. I like it. After about 5 years or so, I eventually finished my trek up the front path and made it to the back to the house. I'll go put the luggage upstairs. Hey, creepy bitch. No. Right in front of me was a ghost that looked like a woman from Mira's Magic Act poster. Clara. What do you want? What do you want? It wouldn't answer. Don't step closer to me. Ah! Okay. Adrian? Huh. What's wrong, Adrian? After I finished restarting my heart, I answered her. I saw a ghost. It was the ghost of a woman. I think she was the magician's wife. She relaxed and gave me a pitying look. Didn't you see it? Oh, Adrian, you probably just thought you saw something. I mean, this drafty house. Yeah, drafty. Sure. Oh, you're right, Rebecca. Drafts do get my imagination aflutter. Now, if that's everything, I'm gonna go back to exploring the ground floor, okay? Yeah, just be careful, alright? I will. Just my luck. She's probably already possessed. Just saying. Just as Rebecca comes, the ghost vanishes. Before I had wondered if the ghost was going to be real or someone in a mask. Either way, it would have been dangerous. But after that adventure, I knew that the ghost was real. I had a feeling that Rebecca was safe from the ghost. Well, as safe as she could be. What I mean is, I was trying to imagine this as a game written by someone else. I thought back to horror films, and generally speaking, the young woman who had a boyfriend was usually safe. Their boyfriend, on the other hand, that's... I continued upstairs. Buddy, don't die. You're too conscious. This is creepy. Well, this wasn't our bedroom. I'd actually accidentally stepped into the attic. Dust-covered toys filled the room. Toys? Did Clara and Miro have children? Turl didn't mention that. Were they planning on having children, perhaps? Did something happen? Oh, was she pregnant? Ah! Oh no, that was that was Rebecca. Ah! Rebecca! Really? Also, I heard Shy Guy snicker, and it was at like the perfect time that rocked. I found Rebecca on the ground. What is it? What the fuck? Oh, she's crying. I rushed to her aid and helped her up. What happened? There! She pointed at the wall. Get out. God, that just reminds me of freaking Amityville. The letters were all in caps, and it appeared that the author was tried their best to try and transcribe their own screaming. It was written in blood and looked like it was going to be hell to scrub out. It said, "Get out." But by now, it really should have said, "Get out, you idiot." Did you see it run past you? Did you see what happened? I heard you scream and I rushed over. No one passed me. How could you miss it? I saw it. I saw the ghost. Maybe it was a draft. No, I won't be a sarcastic bitch. Dots. Sometimes it's best to say nothing at all. Dots. You were right, Adrian. I'd prefer it if I wasn't. Dots. Turl said that they were planning on doing a seance. That's a bad idea. Seance? You know, that thing in movies where a group of people gather around to try and contact ghosts? I know what a seance is. What? We're just going to try and forget about the malevolent ghost in the mansion? Turl says it'll be fun. Yep, I guess we were. Rebecca, don't you think we should just leave? It's not safe here. What? But this is our home now. That's fine. I'll see you later. Like, he literally can't leave, because if he does, then his girlfriend's, like, literally broken. That's weird. Anyway, trying to convince her to go wasn't going to work. I realized that. This was all just a game, after all. And not even one of the good ones. Dots. Wait, what's this? Behind the section of ripped wallpaper and worn wooden wall paneling, there was a marble tile. And it clearly wasn't, or didn't belong there. I pressed down on the tile and a nearby wall opened up, revealing a pitch black corridor. My goodness, you found a secret passageway? Really? You're surprised? In this house? Rebecca and I are going to perform a seance in the vestibule. Would you care to join us? Yeah, Rebecca told me already. I'll pass. Also, are you sure it's wise to do a seance when there's a ghost that wants everyone to leave? There won't be any way to give the ghost true peace until we can find a way of communicating with her. I hope you change your mind, though. The more people, the more power. I'll be in the vestibule if you want to join in. Dots. Enough was enough. No more letting things unfold. If I was in a horror game, at least I could choose how the story ends. I had two choices. Win the game, or find a way out of the game. The problem was I had no idea how to go about either. Where should I start? Back to the attic, explore. I say explore the secret passageway. It's daytime and those bitches are distracted. But at the same time, my gut instinct says to go back and help them because, yeah, with more power is better. And if it's just the two of them, most likely they're gonna get overpowered. I'm not going back to the fucking attic. Let's do against my gut. Let's do it. Usually I go with my gut, but this is trying to not do cliches or totally fulfill them. I was feeling in a cautious mood, so of course I decided to explore the damp, dingy tunnel. Watch, I might die. I walked down the dark, creepy stairs. I reached the basement, which turned out to be a cellar. Barrels filled the wine lined all over the room. Filled with wine all over the room. At least, I think it was wine, but how the rest of this mansion was designed, there was probably 7 or 8 barrels that were probably opened up to secret passage. I took another look around and noticed something else. There was an old suit of armor on a wooden stand. How did I miss it? Was it there before? Dots. Anyone in there? Armor. Thank God. Fuck. Dots. It started to glitch. It was strange. I was strangely drawn to it, like a moth to the flame. I mean, it wasn't just an attraction to it. I mean, I love medieval things, but this feeling was more like the suit of armor was different from everything else in this world. Like it didn't belong here. Like me. No! Don't touch it! No! Why would you touch it? I touched it and... Adrian? What? My cursor also... Oh no, it's still the same. What the fuck? Error. Lost connection to host Adrian. Searching for new host. Host Hannah found. Reconnecting to new host. Please wait. The game exited out. So, did I connect to Hannah? So this is going to be multiple parts. That was the first part of Redacted Life. And the next part, I guess I'm playing School Life Romance. So, again, I'll put a link in the description if you guys want to play it yourselves. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next part. So I hope you guys are winning at life, and I'll see you for that. So keep winning, guys.